Today's recipe is a recipe of a parotha. When I say parotha, this is a recipe that is inspired by the Arab influence in Asia. It originated in Jaffna in Sri Lanka, and by virtue of people and the love that people showed for this paratha, it's today not just known as a Ceylon paratha, but also a Malabar Parotta. Well, the making of this paratha is extremely iconic. You'll soon see how and why. But what's important here is that it's crisp, it's layered. Let's begin with the making of the dough. Refined flour in a deep kneading plate. Time to add in some sugar. And along with this, salt. Let's move the flour a little on the sides and create a little bit of a well. And add in water. The hydration of this recipe is 64%. And start pulling in the flour from the sides. And let's start mixing it like so. Let's bring all of this together, scraping the sides and corners of the kneading plate or bowl. And then we start kneading this and ensuring that the gluten starts developing. By that I mean the dough should become nice, smooth and stretchy. Once the dough is perfectly elastic and smooth like so, we fold this in, rather tuck this in from all the sides. And here we have a smooth Malabar Paratha dough ready to now go to rest. If you want to quickly check or test the quality of your dough, this is known as a window pane method, where you loosely start pulling the dough so that it develops an almost transparent film like this. Let's cover this and allow this to rest for at least 1 hour at room temperature. I'm going to teach you something very different today. Hordanes in barley, secalins in rye, and avenins in oats are the proteins which are very similar to the gluten in wheat. Well, gluten is made up of gliadinin and glutenin, and it's very important for these strands to kind of relax so that the dough becomes elastic, it becomes wonderfully cohesive, and which is also one of the signatures of the Malabar Parotta. What's important is that the outside needs to be nice, crisp and wonderful, and the inside needs to be soft, stretchy, elastic, almost pillowy, and that's the signature of the Malabar Paratha. And that's also one of the reasons why this needs to, one, settle well, relax well for at least an hour, and two, if you notice, I have not added any oil, fat, ghee or anything of that matter while kneading the dough, because that way it becomes supple in the center and crisp on the outside. Simple. Let's wait and watch. Here I have a mixture of equal quantities of ghee and oil. Just mixing this together. And this is going to be used for dividing the dough as well as eventually cooking. Let's pinch lemon-sized balls. These are large Sicilian lemons, if I may say so, and keep this. Let's cover this as well and allow these now to relax for at least 10 minutes. Let's dip our fingers in the mixture of ghee and oil. Give this a quick dab to ensure that there is no skin formation. To make and shape the Malabar Parothas, the first thing is to pick the ball of dough, which is now wonderfully rested. We pat that with a combination of ghee and oil and spread this as thin as we can, literally like a filo pastry. Let's spread this evenly, as thinly as we can. With the help of a sharp object, in this case a knife, we cut this into long strips. Let's dredge this with a little bit of dry, refined flour. Let's bring these strips together from both sides. Let's begin coiling these, starting from one end of the dough, going up to the other, tuck in the last part of the dough under the whole coil. Pat this again with a combination of ghee and oil and spread this thin, pressing till the size of the paratha is as you need. Let's transfer this shaped paratha on a tawa and dry roast for a couple of minutes. Let's add in a combination of oil and ghee and fry this till the doneness is as you prefer. It needs to be crisp on the outside. Let's transfer this on a plate, and similarly, let's make some more. Now, let's take a stack of 3 or 4 parathas at one time and literally slap these together like so. This is a signature that literally opens up the coils of the Malabar Parotta. This Onam, ladies and gentlemen, if you've already planned your sadhya, do not give this wonderful traditional Malabar Paratha a miss. Trust me, make this for family and friends and amp up the entire dining experience. This is me, Varun, signing off. Bye for now. Happy Onam.